Shropshire, the Shropshire Way, as you can see. This is a bit of canal that passes under this bridge, and I am once again in Weston Wren, and this is one of the more picturesque parts of the village. You can see behind me the bridge that I was standing upon, and I'm just here for a short break to reflect. You can see that some people on the other side of the river here, well, they fancy themselves as canoeists because that's what they've got. Some people, of course, come down here for their walks, perhaps even for dog walks. It'd certainly be safer going around this river, up and down the bank here, than it would be in some parts of the village where there are no pavements and very narrow roads. So, I'm just reflecting upon my life and where God is leading me. As it happens, I don't know, but I do know that I'm called to pray and seek God's guidance. And God answers in His way, not necessarily the way that I might imagine. And so I'm just thinking, and I decided that as it was a relatively sunny day, it's a bit brisk, but it's not as cold as it was, that I would take a walk. And here I am walking under the bridge and by the river. It's good to reflect. I was reading an article today by someone I know who 60 years ago, yes, as a young man, people from the organisation that we both worked for came to his college and they talked about mission, and he wanted to have some of that. Well, he got a lifetime of that when he started. And he is again reflecting on those years that he spent, and it all started with a visit to the college. You know, I never know how I'm impacting people. Things I say and things I do might be for an individual. We tend to look upon our lives as it's all about me. Well, guess what? It's not. It's all about God and what He's doing with other people. And so what I'm doing might not actually be for me. It might be for somebody else. Have you thought about that? I think about that quite a lot these days. And the story in the magazine went on to tell how he went to the very first of the ships, which was actually the Logos, and he served in Spain and other parts of the world, and then he and his wife, he'd married by then, went to the Doulos and served for 7 years, and by the time he met me, well, he was still working in OM, and I was one of the new people whom he introduced to OM, and I remember meeting him for the very first time. And that man has had a huge impact on my life. Very dynamic person, but he truly loved the Lord through and through. And sometimes I aspire, I would love to be like him in some respects. So, there you have it. And once again, I'm reflecting. He impacted me, hopefully I impact others. Many people impacted me. Some people have impacted me for the better, for God. People that I only met very briefly, even just once. I'm just going in the opposite direction of the river. It's quite picturesque, which is what I enjoy about it. almost postcard style in some respects. Nice houses in the background. And I particularly like somebody's shed over there. The pink one. A pink shed. Maybe it's a secret lounge outside. A meeting place for men. Actually, there's more than one shed over there. There are a number of sheds with that house. One of them looks a bit like a shelter. See what I mean? One of the nicer parts of the village. As I say, we should always be thinking about other people, putting them first. We are naturally inclined to be selfish. I know that I am. And God has to deal with the selfishness in me. And you see people passing by. Anyway, I'm just reflecting, as you know, and just talking to myself and talking to you. And I will be, in a moment, just going up the steps back to my transport, my chariot, and I will be returning to my desk. Just have one more look at the bridge.